Between Islam and other religions.
No.
To find out what is important, what is not.
No. Let me repeat the question to you. According to the teachings of Islam, so the standard of your answer now has to come from the teachings. What is the most important teaching of Islam?
More or less, I have found 5 elements in Islam.
One.
There is no one.
There is one.
You think so? That's you.
Okay, I'll give you the answer, and then you say if I'm wrong, and then you can correct me, yeah? The most important teaching of Islam is La ilaha illallah.
That's weird.
Do you disagree?
I disagree. Why?
Alright. So my claim is this. The most important teaching of Islam is La ilaha illallah. You're now saying I'm incorrect. So you now tell me what is the most important teaching of Islam.
Okay. If you become a Muslim, you got 5 elements to do, more or less equally. If I want to spread...
What's the first pillar of Islam?
Let me speak, please. You asked many times, you never let me chance to answer.
You're not answering my question.
I have never finished.
No, because you keep telling me what you believe. I'm asking you what does
I
Islam
have to tell
teach?
you what I believe, not anyone else. And you're asking me.
I'm asking you what you believe Islam teaches.
Yes.
So your answer comes from the teachings of Islam, not from your mind.
It has to be my mind.
No, it comes from the teachings
What
of
do you mean? I
Islam.
have to tell you
Because
my mind.
if I'm asking you what is the most important teachings of Islam, according to the teachings of Islam, yeah, what's the most important? Your answer has to come from that pool, not from you. Right, so according to the teachings of Islam, what is the most important thing in Islam?
I find
But not what
5 elements, no one.
Go on.
The first one, the important thing.
Okay, do you accept, what makes me a Muslim? What makes me a Muslim?
You have to tolerate my answer.
I'm trying, but Hussein, what makes me a Muslim?
What make you a Muslim?
No, what is it that makes me a non-believer to a believer? No, what do I have to do, or what do I have to say?
You're following Muhammad, you're a Muslim.
No, what do I have to say to be a Muslim?
First you have to bring out, it's easy. First you have to make a shahada.
Allahu Akbar. What's the shahada?
No, you tell me something. There is only one God.
Allahu Akbar. There is only one God. Wait. No, listen. I say. All I'm trying to do here is this, you see. So you said Islam is close to Buddhism, right? Now here, that's what you said.
But you never give me chance to answer.
No, because what
is your name?
I'll explain to you. Darren. Okay, or Hamza.
Darren.
Hamza.
Please give me chance to tell you what I think.
No, but listen.
If you don't give me my chance, I'm not going to be able to tell you.
No, you can tell me.
You're not going to understand me.
I'm saying, trust me, you'll have time to speak. But here's the thing, you see. If you make a claim in front of me, right, you're going to have to defend that claim. Now, I'm going to show you how that claim that Islam is close to Buddhism is ridiculous. All right, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, the most important teaching of Islam is La ilaha illallah. There's nothing.
That's why you think.
Listen, there's nothing worthy of worship.
What else?
Listen. There's nothing worthy of worship but Allah. Right? In Buddhism, it's nothing to do with God. So for you to compare a way of life or a religion that believes in the worship of one God to a religion that doesn't believe in God, it's a ridiculous statement. Do you understand?
Listen, are you answering yourself?
No, I'm refuting your claim.
I never made it.
You said Islam is like Buddhism.
I have never explained it.
You can't.
You never give me answer.
To understand. Okay, explain to me why Islam is like Buddhism.
In which point? Listen, I have said, unlike other religions, Islam has 5 pillars. Unlike those, you say, Shahadat, Hajj, pilgrimage, whatever you call them. For example, Christianity, 90% is the faith in God, in Jesus. And 10% is culture and the personal choices. In Islam, you got only 20%, more or less, not exactly, 20% faith, 20% culture, 20% politics, and the rest 20% is a personal choice.
All right, I challenge that.
1 minute, I'm going to come back there. So in terms of being similar to other gods and the religions, for these reasons, Islam is unique.
Okay, can I respond?
For example, in Christianity, we don't see politics. We don't see culture. I can live in any culture while I'm a Christian. I don't have to do politics to fulfill my faith. And this is not even in Hinduism, in Buddhism, but we find this in other gods, in other religions, but it's not 20% equally shared.
Right. Let me just translate. You're Kurdish, isn't it?
Yes, I am.
Can I translate quickly?
Wait,
Let me just translate quickly, just in English.
Let me finish it.
Just 10 seconds. What you've just said, in English, this is English translation of what you just said, yeah? Or what I heard. You said, there's no guidance in any other way of life or other religion except Islam. That's what you said. Okay, carry on.
I didn't say that.
Did it?
Yeah. What I'm saying,
You said Islam. You said Islam
Wait.
teaches you how to behave in a social manner, political manner, economic manner, all of these things. Covers everything, alhamdulillah. Like you said. But you said Christianity offers you no guidance. Just believe Jesus died for your sins and it's enough.
1 second.
That was nicely.
That's what I heard.
Religion in general sense in the world, in the
very good, that's very
history,
good.
even today, is a relationship between the person and God. Whichever form of God is a relationship between the
I have
person
no disagreement with that.
and then God. When you want to unwrap what relationship is this, many find and pack up lots of things in it. What happened to Muhammad? He made lots of things into the pack. He put culture, he put his own political agenda
What culture?
and economics. Now those who say I am a Muslim, they follow the same way, although my culture does not exist in heaven. Why should be my practice to fulfill my faith?
Okay, let me explain. All right, translate again. Can I translate in English again? 1 second.
Okay.
All right. Now, what you've said to me, that
I do. Wait a minute.
okay. So what you said now.
culture did the
No, 1 second, 1 second. So what you just said to me now, what Islam does, it doesn't discriminate against you, regardless of your background, regardless of your heritage, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your race, color, class, culture. Islam doesn't discriminate, and it treats everyone equally. Thank you. Carry on.
Talking to English River.
That's what you just said.
No, if Islam,
You're doing a good job for Islam. Eh? Carry on.
why I have to learn Arabic to practice my faith?
That's a different
This is purely racism.
Really?
Why I have to wear Arabic clothing
Who said you
to
had to?
practice my faith?
Who said you have to?
This is purely racism.
Who said you have to?
Racism.
No, who said you have to do that?
I have to read in Arabic the holy book. What you call holy book?
You don't have to be a
You
Muslim.
do.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Where does it say you have to read in Arabic to be a Muslim? Where?
Why you have to read?
I'm asking you a question.
It
Where
does-
does it say?
what-
Where does it say?
It's what I'm saying.
Where does it say that you have to read the Quran in Arabic to be a
I'm just
Muslim?
trying to translate. What's the problem?
No. Hold on a second. Where does it say that?
What do you mean? Many times it's in Quran. It's in Arabic.
Where does it say you
It
have
is
to?
in Arabic.
Where does it say you have to?
So these Muslims are practicing wrong way.
Forget these
I
Muslims.
never
No,
hear
no,
any
okay.
Muslim
No.
You made a
holy
claim.
pray in another
you made a
language.
Yeah,
claim.
you can't make claims.
You make a claim.
If you make a claim, if you make a claim, look in this circle,
Your claim is
you're going to
false.
substantiate your claim.
It's not
Claim
false.
is- Then tell me where it says it.
Listen, I'm talking to this man.
Okay. Talk to me. No. Okay. Let me just explain something to you, Hussein. If you want to make a claim, you can say anything you like here, honestly, but we're going to make you substantiate it, all right? Now, if you're claiming a Muslim has to learn Arabic, show me to be a Muslim.
Where does it say?
Where does it say that?
Your holy Bible is in Arabic. We're not quoted in English. Everywhere I go, do you know Arabic?
Please
No.
answer the
So you're
question.
not qualified.
Just
So
say
according to your standard, what language are your manuscripts
never-
in? According to your standard, what language are your manuscripts in?
Listen,
So what language are the Christian manuscripts in?
come on, please.
No, what language are they in?
I never hear a mosque calling for prayer
He doesn't want to answer the
Azan in native
No.
language.
Look.
It has to be Arabic.
Hussein.
I never
Hussein.
hear anyone
Hussein.
prostrating in mosque praying his own native
Okay.
language. It has to be Arabic.
Hussein.
This is not substantiated.
Okay, let's understand one thing. Let's establish a principle here. according to Christianity, what language is the language of your ancient manuscripts in? Of the New Testament? What's the language?
Wait, listen to me. According to Christianity, it does not have to be the ancient language.
But how are you going to understand it?
That is your,
No.
That is your criteria for Islam.
No.
It
How are
does
you
not
going to
apply
understand it?
to my book.
How are you going to understand it? If you don't understand Greek,
Listen,
if you
you
don't
are not
understand
a
Greek, so
Christian.
according to your standards, a Christian has to learn Greek.
No.
So, yes. How are you going to read your manuscripts? They're in Greek.
Translated into my
Okay.
language.
What about the manuscripts are in Latin?
It's
Wait a
what I'm
moment.
saying.
How are you going to translate the Codex Vaticanus in Latin? Do you understand Latin?
Wait, I'm telling you.
I'm just establishing your principle.
Criteria
mate.
in Islam is for Quran, is not for Bible. Bible has its own criteria, has its own standard to reach out its worshippers.
It sounds like double standards to me.
Listen, no, it's not double
It sounds like
standard.
jealousy.
Yes.
I'm so sorry you don't. I'm so sorry you don't have your original revelation in its revealed
You
language.
cannot say to me,
See, we have our revelation in its revealed language, and we're blessed to repeat it in its revealed
I
language.
respect when you say I have to read Arabic, which is the original language that Muhammad was
Alhamdulillah.
delivering his message.
Because here's the thing, you see. Understand one thing.
That's fine for you,
Hussein,
but
Hussein.
as a Christian,
Understand one
is what
thing.
I'm
Understand one
saying.
thing. Understand one thing. You need to understand principles, yeah? And once you accept a principle, don't contradict it by applying a standard on me you don't accept yourself, okay? First thing. Second thing, when we recite Arabic, yeah? Now the problem we have, I'm an Englishman, yeah? I've been a Muslim 17 years, right? I don't read or write Arabic, okay? The Arabic word in English is the nearest we can get to it, okay? It's such a profound, rich language. Yeah, you are correct. If I want to understand the deepest meaning of the Quran, I can learn Arabic and I can have that opportunity to do so, okay? You don't have that blessing, first thing. Second thing, there are people who know Arabic better than I and are better with English than I, who have already translated into my language anyway. So I don't need that. But it's such a blessing to be able to read God's word in the words it was revealed in. Not you're going through Greek, English, this, Latin, all of this. Yeah? And you've got bigger problems, my friend. You've got bigger problems than this.
Let me
If you're
answer
going to have
you.
a discussion, brother, you need to be honest.
Honestly.
When you say,
When you say,
when you say
I
things like you've got to
understand
wear
my
the clothes
religion,
of Muhammad and stuff
my
like that.
Quran, when you know how to speak in Arabic, I understand and respect. Do it that way if you feel that you understand it much better in Arabic.
No, I think I read
the
it better.
standard for your religion.
I'll tell you the Quran I read.
Okay.
Listen, the
That's-
Quran I read. The
don't-
Quran I read. Let me explain the Quran I read.
You never give me
Well, you
your
have to
time.
understand a standard I have, and then you'll get it. Because look, the Quran I like is by a guy called Marmaduke Pickthall. Now, why do I like Marmaduke Pickthall Quran? Why? Because he's an English convert to Islam, first thing, right, in the 19th century. That's the first thing. Second thing, he was an author, right? And in Azhar Academy in Egypt, they begged him to do an English translation of the Quran. So we have a man who knows Arabic and is an author. So for me to read an English Quran translated for a guy who's an author is going to be 100 times easier than trying to read the Arabic word and trying to get its true meaning and such. It's just right. So it's a nonsense what you're saying.
Listen, in my Bible, nowhere in the Bible says, in order to understand this book, you must learn this original language. I don't find this standard. Do not try and force me.
What was the language of Jesus?
Convince me.
What language did Jesus speak?
Bible does not
What
say
language
you
did
have
Jesus
to
speak?
learn
What language did Jesus
the
speak?
original language which was delivered.
What language did Jesus speak?
It doesn't say it. I know.
What language did
Yeah.
Jesus speak?
You don't tell me. You don't give me time to speak, my brother.
No, because you're saying things that
When
make
you
no sense.
speak, I give you time. I stay quiet. When I speak, you speak in
Oh,
alongside
okay,
me.
you've made a claim again. All right, I'm asking you a very simple question. What language did Jesus speak?
Probably, most likely, he was speaking in Aramaic.
Aramaic. Where's your Aramaic Bible?
There is Aramaic Bible.
Really?
Yeah, there is one.
Do you read the Aramaic Bible?
I don't read
Can you read
Aramaic.
Aramaic? Really? How do you know what Jesus said then?
He's been translated.
Oh, I see. So translation's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so it's okay if you're not me.
It's what I'm saying. If you wish to read Quran and you're advised to learn Arabic, go and do it.
Listen, I'll bring you New Testament scholars who learn Greek to read the Greek manuscripts. Well, not every Christian needs to learn Greek because they trust that.
I'm not saying you shouldn't learn Arabic. Go and do it.
No. But Islam doesn't say I have to learn Arabic. Where does it say that?
This is the part overlapping.
Where does it say that?
Cultural.
Where does it say
Well,
that?
in the beginning, I made a statement. I said Islam. When you want to practice Islam,
Yes.
it's not only faith. It's also culture.
What culture?
It's also
What culture?
politics.
Oh, okay. Am I dressed like a
What
what?
Arabic culture?
What am I dressed like?
Today, no. I have
hold
seen
on,
you.
hold on.
I have
Hamza.
seen you with Arabic culture.
When?
Hold on.
Right. And
No, no,
there are
when?
many Muslims.
No, no, first thing.
Although they are not Arabs, they're wearing like Arabs.
What's the culture of Islam?
What do you mean?
What's the culture that I have to adopt?
I'm not a Muslim to give you the code.
Go back to the first point.
No, but you know.
Do you believe one God and worship one God?
Listen,
Good or
you
not?
know,
Politics is the core of Islam.
Politics.
Without the politics,
Stop.
your religion
No.
is not
Go
complete.
back to the first
Look,
point.
Hussein,
Without worship
one God, is good or not?
Hussein, no, 1 second, but Akhi, no, leave her. You made a claim. You said that when you become Muslim, Islam is not just a way of life. You have to adopt the culture, isn't it?
Yes.
What culture do I have to adopt then? I've been a Muslim 17 years. What do you think I eat for my dinner?
When I see them with the beard, I see them with the
Falafel?
long white dresses, I see them speaking Arabic.
No, talk to me now.
I'm
Englishman.
telling you, I'm telling
Right, I'm
you.
Englishman,
Don't
right?
you hear me?
Right. So, what culture?
do you
No,
mean,
so what's the culture?
Answer, answer.
I tell you.
Do I look like an
he
Arab?
looks like a football hooligan.
Yeah.
Do I look like an Arab?
Not an Arab.
No, you. But they do, you cannot deny it.
Do I look like an
Islam
Arab?
has a culture.
Do I look like an
Islam
Arab?
has the politics.
Does he look like an
Islam
Arab?
has an economic
You're
model.
just making stuff
and
up.
it's-
Does he look like an Arab? Does he look like an Arab?
No, they're individuals.
Does he look like an Arab?
They are individuals.
Well, he's a Muslim.
Oh, come on, please.
He's a Muslim. Where's the
You
culture?
just avoid it.
Does he look like an Arab?
Ahlan wa sahlan.
Marhaba. So what are you on about?
Assalamu alaikum.
If you're saying to be a Muslim,
You are one man, you are no whole nation.
no, I'm an example, isn't it
But
though?
it's three men here.
Three men.
Islam,
But we're not the
Arabs,
Trinity.
Does he look like an Arab?
I am Kurdish like you.
We're three men.
He's from your place.
We're three men here. But
Arab,
not the Trinity.
Arabization spread through
Why are you not dressed like a Kurd?
Arabization.
Why are you not dressed like a
Oh,
Kurd?
come on, please.
Where's your culture?
You're not engaging.
You adopted Christian culture, didn't you? Christian culture makes you
You're
dress like
not
that.
engaging with the subject. You're trying to
No,
dominate me
this
with
is
your
the
voice.
subject. You said about when a Muslim becomes an Englishman becomes a Muslim. You made the claim, my friend.
I made
You-
it.
Yeah,
and
right.
I can,
So you
if
said,
give me time, I explain it to you.
well, you're not. You're doing a very bad job of it because why? You made a claim that when someone becomes a Muslim, they have to adopt Arab culture, right? And I'm pointing out Muslims all around us,
know,
and we're not dressed like Arabs.
Just one thing,
Arab.
one thing, brother. Look, one thing, brother. But joking aside, look, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when you go for Jummah, for Friday prayer, wear the best clothes of your community.
Allahu Akbar.
Now I'm born here, so for me, a nice long shirt, pair of trousers. This is the best clothes of my community, and that's the best for me. I don't have to dress
sorry.
like an Arab.
How did Jesus dress?
I don't know.
You don't dress like Jesus.
Listen, you're giving you a couple of friends in here that do not wear like Arabs, and you're replacing them.
Say again, sorry.
And you're replacing
No.
them with the whole nation.
I think you have to concede that being a Muslim doesn't mean you have to
Come on,
adopt an
please.
Arab culture.
You're not even giving me 20 seconds. Every time I start speaking, you're cutting my
Oh,
word.
we'll speak.
I'm going to
Sorry.
leave here. I'm going to leave
All right,
here.
I'm going to leave it.
Come on.
When it's about
Keep going, keep going.
when it's about anthropology, when it's about the people, statistics are very important evidence. Statistics telling us that when you become Muslim, eventually the person adopts Arabic culture and the language. Over the centuries, when majority of nations become Muslim, they're also adopting Arabic cultures and the language.
They want to, not because they have to.
Okay,
Have you been to
that's a reality.
Have you been to Albania?
Wait, this is a reality. Started in Saudi Arabia in one town, and then the
Have you been to
Arabic
Albania?
continent,
Even Arabic
and
culture
then the
changed.
Middle East,
So the thobe
and
wasn't
then
worn by the
spreading in
Prophet
the rest of
sallallahu
the
alaihi wasallam.
world.
Have you been to Albania?
Understand?
But in the
Have you been to Albania?
Please let me. In the Muslim world map, at the skirts you see the very moderate Muslims, but where it was Islam born is strictly Arabic, and that grows. And it will continue growing.
What are you on about?
As the more they become Muslim, the more majority they have in the nation, you see the more they are Arabic. This is called Arabization. The culture in Islam is one of the pillars.
All right. No, it's not.
And then,
No, it's not.
okay, this is
making
over. I'm
stuff
not going to
up.
talk about this anymore.
Well, you just mentioned it.
Okay,
You're-
Good.
The second
Do I look
is
Arabized? No, do I look Arabized?
politics.
Do I look Arabized?
When you become a Muslim, you have to be a politician.
Hussein,
Otherwise,
Hussein.
your religion is not complete.
Hussein, you're just making baseless claims, mate.
really is a waste of time.
Your claims are baseless.
Can you say without politician, a Muslim is a good Muslim?
What?
You see, is what I'm saying. Muhammad was a good politician. He started from
Sorry,
ground
repeat-
zero to
sorry,
establish the first growing kingdom.
Repeat that question. Repeat that question.
I'm saying
Can I say Bob?
Islam requires
That wasn't your
the
question. You
Muslims-
changed it now.
Okay, I changed it a different way. A Muslim also must be a politician. He has to know which party choose, which politician to follow.
When did
or
you
to
say that?
follow.
Oh, okay.
Even
When did you say that?
he has to go to war if his imam
Okay.
calling
so
for.
What's a politician? When you say politician, how do you understand the word politician?
He has to make he has to make the laws.
Politician makes the
rules.
laws.
The civil laws.
The politician makes the laws.
Yeah, you know what politician is.
Shall I
He
tell
has
you?
to involve in
Do you know what a
making
politician is?
and
Do you know what a politician is?
you keep on cutting me.
Because I asked you a question, you ignore the question.
As soon as I start speaking, you're cutting my words.
Okay, what's a politician?
You're supposed to be a British man.
What's a politician?
You're supposed to be a British man.
You don't have respect when I speak.
You're like a football
This is what I know
hooligan.
from them.
Sorry?
You don't have respect.
Listen, you disrespect me when I ask a question, you ignore it and say something completely different. That's
I'm
disrespect to
answering
me.
your question.
No, you're not. You
But
ignore my
when I
question.
start speaking, you're cutting me again.
No, I asked you what's a politician. You answered what a politician was. What did you say?
And I'm saying it.
What is it?
A politician involved making the laws,
Right,
implying the laws,
Right.
which is the civil law,
right.
and go on.
Right, that's your answer. Okay. No, a politician is a representative of the people. That's what a politician is.
Yeah, okay.
They're a
They're
person.
what they
I'll
do.
tell you what a person are. No, I'll tell you what they are. They're a person who the people elect from amongst themselves to be their representative. That's what a politician is.
Yeah.
What's your problem with politicians?
Yeah, you see, that's the problem. We don't have in Christianity.
So, oh, I see.
in the church,
I get
it's
it. I get it. I get it.
my pastor is not telling me
I'm with
you
you.
got to choose that man.
So what you're
Islam
saying?
is saying that.
So what you're
my
saying-
pastor is not telling me you have to go for war.
I've got you.
To defend your
I've got you.
country.
I got you.
In Islam, you have to do that.
I got you.
Your leader, your imam,
Okay.
is calling you to fight.
Okay, okay.
This is politics.
Okay. Have you heard of Remembrance Sunday?
See?
Have you heard of Remembrance Sunday in England? The 11th hour of the 11th month. You must have heard it. Where the people, the Poppy Day. Yeah. Do you know those poor men who died had no choice in doing what they did? You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
You know that their leaders forced them to join the army and go and fight other young men who've been forced by their leaders to fight them. You know that, don't you?
Yeah.
So you're disrespecting them.
No.
You
You
are.
are the leaders. You are the pastors.
The leaders.
Evangelists. They are the
No,
politicians.
no, the politicians, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so you have a problem with politicians, yeah.
Yeah, we're politicians.
Do you have a problem with
They
politicians?
don't do the pious, the religious person does not call for wars. They don't incite.
Do you know why
them to
not?
go
Do you know why not?
We don't have politics.
Shall I tell you why
in
not? Shall I tell you why you don't?
Whereas
you
Islam
can't.
has. That's the difference.
I'll tell you why you don't have it. Shall I tell you why you don't have it in Christianity? Because you lost the power, mate. Because you had that power. The Crusades, no listen, the Crusades, who called the Crusades? Who called the Crusades?
I'm up against.
Who called the Crusades? Tell me the name of the guy who called the Crusades. What was his religion?
I can't remember his name now.
No, what was his
What was
religion?
it? He was a Christian.
Oh, he was a Christian. So a Christian leader
Yeah.
forced men to go and fight in the holy wars, yes?
Yes or no?
He didn't force.
No?
No, he didn't force.
No?
That's the wrong statement.
No, the peasants weren't forced by them.
No, he didn't force. That's the wrong statement.
Okay. Do you know the history of the Crusades?
Yes, I know.
Requested.
Do you not know that the barons forced their peasants off their lands to go and fight?
No, he didn't force.
Are you sure?
exaggerating. You're exaggerating.
Really?
Yeah, you
Oh, so talk to
exaggerate.
me about the Fourth Crusade.
Listen, as a Christian today, not only me,
Yeah.
the vast and even probably 99%, 100%, they're against crusades. I can explain in this way.
Talk to me about the
Crusades.
conquistadors.
1 second.
No, talk to me about the conquistadors.
Baby,
Talk to me about the conquistadors from Portugal and Spain. Talk to me about those guys. What did they do?
I haven't answered the other one yet.
What?
About the crusade.
No, all we have to establish is that the leader of the Muslims, the leader of the Christians, called for war and the people went to war. Yeah?
No, it's not that way.
It's not that way.
it's not-
Kings
it's
were,
not the way.
Kings
It's not
were
the way.
forced, listen to me.
It's not the way
Kings
you are
were forced to join the crusade. The Pope requested a crusade, your kingdom had to join that crusade. The Pope's power overrules kingdoms. Do you know that?
Wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong?
That's not- it's
Are you
not
saying
the
to me?
force.
Are you saying to me a kingdom within Europe could refuse the Pope when he called the crusade?
If you give me 2 minutes, I will explain it to you.
No. Are you
I
saying
promise
that?
you don't stop me.
No, are you saying that? Are you saying? I want to understand what you're believing. You see, are you saying if the Pope called a crusade, the Catholic kingdoms were entitled to refuse the Pope's call? Is that what you're saying?
Will you give me time to answer?
Yeah. Answer. What's my question?
Calling for wars as a Christian, and we don't find in the New Testament.
You just ignore my question.
Wait on it.
You just ignore my question, and that's the problem.
Wait, please.
No, your response should be either yes, the kingdoms did have a choice not to join the crusade,
I'm not
or
filling
no.
a form. Don't be funny. I have to explain to you.
No, if you're not going to answer my direct
You
question,
stop me
no,
in the 10-second time.
because you're not answering my question.
Please. Let me finish it.
No, what's my question?
Your question, Pope forced Christians
No,
to go to
that's not
war,
my question.
And then you...
That's not my
you
question.
change.
That wasn't my question. And that's the problem, you're not listening.
No, it's a problem.
Shall I
You
repeat
keep
my
saying
question?
it.
Listen, but he can't remember.
Shall I
No,
repeat
listen
it?
anyway.
Shall I repeat it?
You don't give me time
Shall
to
I
answer.
repeat my
You
question?
keep moving and moving.
Shall I repeat my question?
You're not engaging with me.
Shall I repeat my
You keep
question?
stopping me.
Forget.
Shall I repeat my question?
Repeat it. Why you give me time to answer it?
As long as you answer it then. And
As long as you don't stop me, you will get your answer.
as long as your answer doesn't involve the word New Testament, no problem.
Why
Alright?
you shouldn't be?
Because it's got nothing to do with my question.
What do you mean? The Pope is reading New Testament.
That wasn't my question.
You see? That's where we get our theology.
That's not my question.
We're talking about Christianity without the New
No,
Testament.
I'm asking you a
Cannot be.
question. Can you just respond to the
Okay,
question?
ask it again.
Right. A very simple question. Did the Catholic kingdoms have the right to refuse a crusade when the Pope called it?
First of all, there was not a Catholic kingdom.
What?
Okay. And they had the right to refuse. There were volunteers went on to release Jerusalem from the invaders. Okay. That went on for 1 or 2 centuries and gradually disappeared from the Western, from the Christian world. It doesn't have the base, it doesn't have a reason from New Testament. It's not practiced from the early church. It's not being practiced today. In the 2,000-year span of Christian history, is an isolated, a unique case of Christian history. It does not repeat no more. Today, all Christians are against such a movement. I personally am against it. They should not have done
Against
it.
what?
But they did it.
What are you against?
I'm against crusaders. I don't want it.
All right. Did you seriously start the whole answer with "there's no such thing as Catholic kingdoms"?
Sorry?
Did you seriously start your answer? There was no such thing as Catholic kingdoms. What religion was Spain, Portugal, France, Hungary, Poland, Britain? What was their religions?
What was it? Majority were Christian.
Catholics.
Yeah, Christian Catholics.
Right, but you just said there was no Catholic kingdoms.
No, when you say the Catholic kingdom, it was not a religious kingdom as we know, because we're comparing with Islam. It was not such a
Catholic kingdom was ruled by the Pope.
No, the Pope has the power, but he did not practice as a king the way you know.
No, the
He
Pope
didn't
had
have the civil laws.
the Pope was a papacy first thing, and it was laws.
He didn't practice the civil law, did he?
Who? The Pope?
Yeah.
They practice it today in the Vatican City,
No, he didn't have that.
but they do have it.
That is a lot different than when you say the kingdom, it has a definition.
No, the whole principle of what we're saying is this. First of all, I asked you a question whether or not the Catholic kingdoms could refuse the request of a crusade or not. Your response was there's no such thing as Catholic kingdoms, which is error, straight away. So yeah, so that negates your whole
I've never seen
answer.
the history called the Catholic kingdom. I don't know.
Okay, I'll educate you. Okay, I've just said that the countries Spain, Portugal, Poland, France, Hungary, what was the other ones? Denmark, Great Britain, were all Catholic kingdoms. What that meant was the Pope had authority over all of these kingdoms. You know when you watch the Three Musketeers? This always confused me as a kid. When I used to watch the Three Musketeers, I seen the Three Musketeers working for the king. Then there was these guys in red. And I was thinking, who are these guys in red? They seem to be as powerful as the Musketeers, but the Musketeers work for the king. So how can these guys in red be as powerful? Then I find out Cardinal Richelieu is their boss. And then I'm thinking, well, who's this Cardinal Richelieu? And he is the Pope's representative in that kingdom. And he has the power of the Pope within that country. Do you understand? Now remember one thing, they believed that it was the Pope who appointed kings.
Brother, do you mind if I ask a question?
No. We do mind. No interest in you. No interest in you. Ask him a question, no problem.
I'm not here for you to interest.
I'm not interested. But we're having a conversation.
I did ask
Not
a
interested.
question.
Not interested.
It looks
Not
like
interested.
you are watching
Not
too
interested in
much
you.
movies.
Not interested in you. Not interested.
Since you are
Not interested.
watching too much
The
movies,
subscribers complain about your
can
voice.
you
Not
just
interested.
please tell me
Not interested.
Who is Allah praying?
Not interested.
In
Not
Surah
interested.
23 verse
Not
50?
interested. First thing, we're not interested in your misunderstanding of the Quran.
Sir,
Not interested.
can you please educate
Anyway,
me?
let's stay on
Who
point.
is Allah praying in Surah 33 verse 56? It looks like you are watching too
Right,
much
so you understand the
movies.
point. So you have the Catholic kingdoms. Yeah, nobody's interested. Nobody's interested. Nobody's interested. No one's interested. Nobody's interested. Nobody's interested. No one's 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 interested in you. No one's interested in you. Alright. So here's the point, you see. No one's interested. So here's the point. So there was Catholic kingdoms, and the Pope had authority over these Catholic kingdoms. So the Pope can call the crusade. The king couldn't refuse to join the crusade. And what would happen? That would permeate. Right? You had I'll explain to you. The king then would call his lords. Listen, I understand.
You don't explain it to me.
Well, you're right.
Explain it to me.
Well, you misunderstood.
Surah 23 verse 56.
Okay, you explain it then.
Brother, can I just get my answer?
No one's interested. No one's interested. No one's interested. No one's interested.
Why you?
Because I'm not interested. We're not talking about that.
No, just a question about.
I'm answering this question.
Why are you talking about?
Allah is praying to
Sorry,
someone.
just a
Who is
second.
Allah praying
What's the video?
to?
What's the video? You understand? What's the video? You understand? What's the video? You understand?
Why you don't talk about religion?
Okay. What's the video? You understand?
Is Muhammad
Yeah?
higher
There you
than
go.
Allah?
Okay.
Sir,
So,
who is
that's
Allah
the
praying
principle.
to? Who is
Yeah, go
Allah
on.
praying to?
It's in your time.
Give my answer and then I'll walk away.
Go on, explain.
Give the answer and then I'll walk
I'm
away.
interested in her. Forget that. She's had her chance long ago. She's a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite. But we need to waste our time with this.
Allah does not love liars and we have a liar here. Who is Allah praying to?
Carry on.
Who is Allah praying to? Who is
No one's interested. Irrelevant. No one's interested. No one's interested. No one's interested. No one's interested in you. No, you. No one's interested.
And the Quran.
No one's interested.
Who is Allah
No one's
praying
interested.
to?
No one's interested.
Who is Allah
No one's interested.
praying to?
No one's interested.
I know
No one's
who
interested.
is Allah praying to.
Right.
Who is Allah praying to?
You know.
Who is
There you go. Go tell you. Go tell you. Go tell you. Go tell you. No, he'll tell you.
I'm
I'm not engaging with you. I'm not engaging with you. I'm not engaging with you. I'm not engaging.